I want to welcome all of you to today's events. There's an old Irish belief, or perhaps merely a superstition, that she upon whom rain falls will be blessed. So we're assuming that all of you will be very blessed. Parents and friends of the class of 1993, students, faculty and staff of the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University, Barbara Melson, president of our Alumni Council, Sister Mary Patricia Russell, director of the Bahamas Extension Program, Sister Mary Reuter, prioress of the Benedictine women who sponsor this college, Beth Dindorf, treasurer of the Board of Trustees, Patricia Hampl, our distinguished guest speaker, and above all, you, the graduates of the class of 1993, it is my privilege now to convene the 77th annual commencement exercises at the College of St. Benedict. After Sister Mary Margaret Yeager leads us in prayer, I invite Dr. Charles Vallette, Vice President of Academic Affairs, to conduct today's ceremonies.
I would invite you to please stand for prayer. Come, Holy Spirit, Holy Wisdom, open to us the deeper meaning of this moment, which honors our past while advancing us on uncertain paths. Today we applaud the transmission of wisdom from one generation to the next. Yet we are awed by all that remains unknown. May we remember that in both laying hold and in letting go, we celebrate God's goodness. Holy is God. Holy are we who are one with God forever. Amen.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the 77th commencement exercises at the College of St. Benedict. Today, we honor 418 students who will soon join the family of alumni of the college. Graduates, this is a special moment for you, May you long remember this occasion with pride. And may you also remember that we too take pride in your accomplishments. Commencement at the College of St. Benedict is an opportunity for a meaningful closure to your academic journey with us. It is for this reason that we select a commencement speaker who is connected to our academic endeavors, someone who exemplifies the values that are at the heart of the education that is offered at the College of St. Benedict. I propose to you that Patricia Hampl, our commencement speaker, is such a person. Patricia Hampl earned a Bachelor of Arts in English from the University of Minnesota and a Master of Fine Arts from the University of Iowa. She is a poet, a novelist, and a faculty member whose literary works have earned prestigious awards and recognition. She has received support from the Bush Foundation, the National Endowment for the Arts, and the very prestigious MacArthur Foundation, whose fellowships are known as the Genius Grants. And she has been named a literary lion by the New York Public Library. This means that she is joining 217 writers whose books are considered, and I quote, the lifeblood of a library. I'm very tempted to introduce Patricia as one of our own. She's not an alumna of the college, but she is not a stranger to our campuses. Colleagues in our English department have said that she loves to come here because we, the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University, understand her spiritual journey and that we take her seriously. Indeed, our Minnesota poet and prose writer knows the meaning of her journey, particularly a contemplative journey. Her poetry, short stories, and novels might best be described as an intense spiritual search, or searches, memories, and memoirs. Woman Before an Aquarium, her first collection of poetry. Romantic Education, her first novel. Resort and Other Poems, Spillville, and the more recent Virgin Time are reflective of her pilgrimage, her journey. Patricia is described as having a low profile that suits her thirst for meditative places and contemplative silence. But for Ms. Hampl, a literary work is not intended to be silent. And I quote, "A book is a voice as well as a story. I almost feel I'm a singer. It is not enough to say the words. Language has rhythm and melody deep inside its sentences. And if it doesn't set up a reverberating sound with readers, readers cannot enter their own song." Graduates, friends, and colleagues, let us discover our own song. Please help me welcome Patricia Hampl, our commencement speaker.
Well, I could have listened to that on and on and on. Thank you very much, Dr. Villette. And I thank you all, Dr. Villette, Dean Super, trustees of the college, faculty and staff, family and friends, and especially graduates of the class of 1993, for the honor of addressing you today. My thanks are genuine, but I have to tell you, there's nothing quite like the sinking sensation that descends after you've been asked to give a commencement address and you realize it's exactly 25 years since your own graduation. I hung up the telephone after Dr. Villette called with his invitation and walked straight to the mirror, took a good hard look. There's no question about it. I definitely looked like somebody old enough to be somebody else's commencement speaker. Dr. Villette's timing was eloquent, too. His call came shortly after Bill Clinton was inaugurated as president, a man exactly my age, born the same year. And I'd voted for him, but I found myself brooding once he'd won. What's somebody my age doing as president? Somebody's dad is supposed to be president. I made my first adult friendships at college. I published my first work as an undergraduate in the student newspaper at the University of Minnesota. I got the Norton Anthology of English and American Literature under my belt there in Vincent Hall, which in those years the English department shared with mortuary science, much to the merriment of undergraduate English majors like me. Then I walked across a stage very much like this one, grabbed my degree, and ran as fast as I could off campus to find the real world, whose location was unclear to me, although I understood it might be found somewhere slightly beyond the West Bank in Minneapolis. But never mind the passage of years and the dossier of mistakes and misdeeds I've managed to rack up over the years since then. Never mind that I'm not only not a student anymore, I'm a professor with tenure at the university I was so glad to run away from. Even more significant than tenure at my university, which is such a cramped and crowded place, a little bit like the New York City of colleges, Parking Services recently called me to say I reached the top of the waiting list for a contract at the Kaufman Garage. And for those of us who work there, that's a bigger deal than tenure. So in spite of all these signs of age, I still have the habit of thinking of myself as an English major. Maybe the reason my own generation of baby boomers broods so much about aging and is appalled by any sign of maturity amongst us is not that we're mourning for the passing of our youth, though we certainly squeezed that lemon for all it was worth. I don't think those of us who graduated in the notorious 60s are obsessed with youth. We're obsessed with achievement. It's not the worst obsession around, but it does have its downside. We're preoccupied with what we've done so far, what we haven't done, what it's still possible to do, the moment when you wake up and realize, uh-oh, too late to take up brain surgery. What somebody else has done so far and where they are in relationship to what I've done. Sometimes we sound like people with resumes rather than lives. Today is a day of achievement and of accomplishment. You've run the race, come down the home stretch, and President O'Connell, Dean Super are about to wave the checkered flag as you cross the finish line. You should bask a little, preen a little. This is the day for that. So what if you can't tell if the warmth in your heart or the glow in your family's eyes is pride or just relief? You did it, and it's a day for you to celebrate. Your reward for this achievement, of course, is that now you will be expected to do more. More school for some of you, but for all of you, more work, more goals, more responsibility, more races to be run and won. It's a good fate to have a world of work ahead of you and a solid building block of education behind you, or perhaps within you, which is a better place to keep your education. But you aren't graduating from the College of Hard Work or the Department of Achievement and Ambition. You're not even graduating from the University of Good Deeds and Better Intentions. You are about to be graduates of the College of St. Benedict, a college of liberal arts. Some of you may have the idea that artists, at least poets like me, just sit around staring out the window. I wish I could set you straight about that, but if that's the view you have, I'd have to say you've got it just about right. Sitting around staring is central to the job description of an artist. And in our world of endeavor and achievement, that's either a luxury or a very odd duck thing to do. To sit and stare at what isn't even there, it's not something that fits into the restructuring of lean and mean corporations, for instance. Yet it is a discipline, the strange discipline of reflection, meditation, contemplation. In fact, in Buddhism, the word for the method of meditation, zazen, refers not to thinking or even to breathing, and certainly not to doing, but simply to sitting still. This life of sitting is not an end in itself, but contemplation must be entered as completely, as passionately as any athlete ever entered a race. It's a muscular activity for all its appearance of passivity and inactivity. Where today is the life of contemplation? What does it look like? And furthermore, what's it good for? I collect examples of contemplative life almost the way some people collect baseball cards. These contemplatives are my heroes. For me, they embody the mystery of art, and beyond that, the very mystery of living itself. They are not the great thinkers of the world, not the analysts and scholars. They're the ponderers, the ones who absorb real experience and try to radiate it outward again in a new and useful way. They tend not to come up with theories, but with values, and especially with the rekindling of faith and hope. And if they write at all, they tend to write diaries and letters, not novels or epic poems. A lot of my heroes have done their contemplation the hard way, in prison, in forced sitting. Malcolm X, for instance, didn't just read a lot of books in prison, he did a lot of waiting and staring and changing. There wasn't a lot for him to do in prison, but that's where Malcolm X found his life's mission and made the beginnings out of his brutalized history of a wholly new vision of possibility. And his autobiography is given to us and remains one of the great life stories in our national literature. Václav Havel, the playwright and first president of Czechoslovakia after the revolution recently, and now the president of the newly formed Czech Republic, is another one of these ponderers. He wrote many letters to his wife during his various incarcerations in prison before the revolution. These letters are collected in his book, Letters to Olga. When I speak of faith and hope, Havel wrote to Olga from prison in 1981, I'm not thinking of optimism in the conventional sense, by which we usually mean the belief that everything will turn out well. I don't share such a belief and consider it, when expressed in that general way, a very dangerous illusion. I don't know how everything will turn out, and therefore I have to admit the possibility that everything, or at least most things, will turn out badly. Faith, however, does not depend on prognoses about possible outcome. Genuine faith doesn't depend on how reality appears at any one given moment. For this reason, only someone with faith, in the deeper sense of the word, will be able to see things as they really are and not distort them in one way or another, since this person has no personal emotive reasons for doing so, whereas the faithless person simply tries to survive with the least possible pain and discomfort and is indifferent to everything else. And he claims this faithless person makes about reality will usually, in one way or another, serve that person's conception of life. In other words, again, merely what suits the person. To me, this is a thrilling and dynamic way of understanding faith, not as a belief system, but as a certain kind of presence in the world, in the day, in the moment. And isn't it interesting that Havel's idea of faith has nothing to do with wishful thinking? It is the opposite of wishfulness. It is profound attention and acceptance of reality and its inevitable core of mystery. Havel's faith is not faith in something, but as he tells Olga, it is the profound assumption of meaning, or the longing for meaning, which lies dormant in the very bowels of your relationship to the world and of all your actions. Genuine faith, he writes, is original and primal. It is not a dogma, according to Havel, not even an idea. Rather, it is a longing we recognize as our deepest truth. This, I think, is how we are called upon, all of us, to be artists, not by effort, achievement, and endeavor, but by faith in our deepest longings as fellow human beings. Effort exhausts. It's easy to burn out in any job, but longing is eternal and forever buoyant. Leonard Woolf, Virginia Woolf's husband, wasn't exactly a job description for him. He also was a writer himself, but he's become known as Virginia Woolf's husband, was involved all his long life in progressive politics. He never seemed to make much progress, though, toward the good he envisioned. He was asked towards the end of his very long life how he kept up the cheerful energy to fight the good fight. It was simple, he said. He never looked for satisfaction in winning, but he always took his pleasure in living out his ideals. They were real to him, those ideals, because they were in him, even if the world wasn't ready to let them exist there. His longing kept him going. This longing is not ambition. It is not about what we want from the world. It has to do with how we wish to place ourselves in our world, in our mutual world. It has to do with our capacity to absorb experience in all its frightful contradiction without being smashed in the contradiction. It has to do, I think, with the discipline of sitting and looking. Walt Whitman, our greatest poet, says the job before us is to loaf and invite our own souls. In other words, to sit and stare, and only then to act from the longing at the heart of our best, most unguarded selves. On September 29, 1943, a university student in Amsterdam named Etty Hillesum was writing in her diary, as she had off and on for the past 2 years. She was 10 or 12 years older than Anne Frank, who was also writing in her diary at the same time in the same city. They did not know each other, but they were soon to meet the same fate in a concentration camp. Etty Hillesum's diary, like Anne Frank's, was eventually published. It's called An Interrupted Life. In her outer life, Etty Hillesum worked with Jewish refugee relief agencies in a desperate attempt to save lives. In her contemplative life, she tried to place herself in history, in reality. Ultimately, she wrote on that September day, 50 years ago, "We have just one moral duty: to reclaim large areas of peace in ourselves, more and more peace, and to reflect it towards others. And the more peace there is in us, the more peace there will also be in our troubled world." The diary breaks off shortly after this entry, when Etty Hillesum was transported to Auschwitz. She died there on November 30th, 1943. These contemplatives, Malcolm X, Václav Havel, and Etty Hillesum, were intensely worldly, political, active people. But they paused to sit and stare, to reflect, and out of that contemplative instant emerged their fate, their real meaning. Amidst the job searches, the deadlines, the report writing, the chauffeuring and housekeeping, the getting and spending, we look not for our lives, but for our meaning, which we tend to see, I think, in our stories. And to look for a story is to look for a way to be an artist. This search for our story, fired by the longing for meaning in a tough world that often seems unaware of our existence, is what Václav Havel means, I think, by faith. When I look for this artistic life in my own history, I see my father. He worked all his life at a greenhouse. It's a good place to spend Minnesota winters if you can't get to Florida. And I loved to go there as a child, to go to the greenhouse with him and to wander around the palm house, which was my Africa, to see the baby rabbits that were born in the bulb cellar. But most of all, I loved to watch my father arrange flowers. Sometimes on Sundays, he would have to go to work to get a funeral order out. No one else was in the greenhouse. It was a quiet, humid place. He went into the big refrigerator and brought out long branches of lemon leaf and gladiola, carnations, freesia, roses, eucalyptus. I sat on a high stool on the opposite side of his workbench. My father put a big glass container in front of him and laid all the flowers on the workbench. He took out his pocket knife, laid it on the table, and then he took a step back and just stood there. He just looked blankly at the mess on the workbench, doing absolutely nothing. He was still as a cut flower himself, and without expression. It was almost scary, this blank look on my father's face, but I learned to trust that look, that strange, expressionless face. Because in a sudden flash, he picked up his pocket knife and tore into the mass of flowers, cutting and positioning them madly. He looked like a wild man. In no time, the thing was complete. A beautiful spray of flowers that looked as if the blossoms had picked themselves up and put themselves together in perfect natural order, all by themselves, to please themselves. That has always been my image, like a totem, of the artist's mind. I saw it early there in the greenhouse, the secret life of accomplishment. I saw it on my father's expressionless face as he did absolutely nothing. Did nothing, that is, but look at the world laid out before him. He was waiting for that world to reveal to him its order, its meaning, and only then did he go into action. My nephew Timothy is graduating right now in Seattle. When I told him I was giving you the commencement address for your graduation today, he said, "Don't give them any advice," which is good advice. For one thing, I don't have any advice to give you. I only have good wishes. Or maybe they're hard wishes. I wish for you an undercurrent of longing in all that you do, because that is where the meaning resides, which can sustain your life of action. I wish for you the habit of reflection, of that empty time when the mind is willing to accept the new, the unfamiliar, the alien. Most of all, I wish for you the capacity to see, as an artist must, the value of your own life experience as it unfolds. Artists must live their lives twice, once as experience, once as story. It is in acknowledging our lives as stories rather than as chaotic bits of action that we radiate the peace that Etty Hillesum, from the midst of her maelstrom, said it is our moral duty to reclaim. People sometimes say, "Don't forget to stop and smell the roses." And I guess that's a good thing to remember, to stop and enjoy the little moments. But I mean a different kind of stopping. I have a different wish for you as we send you forth gladly into your lives. I hope you'll remember to stop and gaze at the roses, just look, and out of that contemplative moment, thorns and all, become in your work the artist who radiates the peace the world longs for every day and is unable to find for itself, including this day, your graduation day and commencement into your new life. Good luck. Thank you very much.
It is now my pleasure to invite you to listen to another story. Our next speaker, Kathleen Mary Deignan, will present the senior statement. Kathy is an elementary education major from Monroe, Wisconsin. Kathy is well known in our academic community for her academic achievements, her athletic achievements, and her service to others. She has been on the Dean's List and is graduating magna cum laude. She also has the distinguished honor of being named All-American Division III in cross country in 1991, track and field in 1992-93. She was also named Academic All-Conference 1991, 1993, and the College of St. Benedict Athlete of the Year in 1991-92. Kathleen's commitments extend also to the larger community. She has volunteered in the Big Sister and Sunday school programs. She was captain of the cross-country team, a member of the education club, served on the athletic advisory committee, and Eucharist minister. Please extend a warm welcome to Kathleen Mary Deignan.
Oh, the places you'll go. You've heard it before, and you will hear it again. I do not think Dr. Seuss had any idea how popular his book title would become, but today we are reminded of these 5 hopeful words. For here we are at yet another crossroads. We can look back and reflect upon the roads we have traveled, leading us to this place we have inhabited for the past 4 or more years. We can be hopeful of our position in this world because we have received the quality education from this institution, and we are able to carry this experience with us. We have been recipients of genuine teaching. According to Maria Harris, author of Women in Teaching, genuine teaching occurs when someone with knowledge and skill enables and empowers someone else to come into self-possession. Through our experiences in our classes, social relations, and community existence, we have come into self-possession and we are empowered. At this crossroads, we leave the safe learning environment of the College of St. Benedict, where our pursuit of knowledge has been a concentrated one. Now, we are empowered to venture out, to find our own road, to practice what we have learned, and broaden our pursuit. It is now time to sincerely thank our supporters of our learning endeavors and seek out our new options. Now we can look ahead. As we assemble here today, the hope we have in our hearts is joined by the inevitable sense of anxiety. We ask ourselves and each other, which place will I go now? Dr. Seuss never told us where we should go. Crossroads are difficult places to be, for we can grow stagnant and very frustrated. As Sandra Haldeman Martz wrote in her anthology of writings by women, at some time, almost everyone has reflected on life's crossroads and wondered what the outcome might have been had we chosen different paths. Especially when viewed from our latter years, we often feel a sense of having sacrificed some of the quality of life. I believe we have to strive to continually improve this quality of life for ourselves and for others. We must pursue this and make our lives worth every moment we have been given. Yes, we can stand here and start to question all the roads we have chosen in the past until nothing remains unquestioned. But the Indigo Girls warn in their song, Watershed, as you stand at the fork in the road, you can stand there and agonize till your agony's your heaviest load. Life, as we have been taught here at St. Ben's, is too precious to waste carrying this load. Life, as we have learned here at St. Ben's, must be a joyful pursuit. So, here is my advice to you in the form of a poem as you seek out your road and continue on in your pursuit. These words of wisdom also entitled the book, If I Had My Life to Live Over, I Would Pick More Daisies, edited by Sandra Haldeman Martz. They are applicable to whichever road you choose, bumpy or smooth, curvy or straight. I'd dare to make more mistakes next time. I'd relax. I'd limber up. I would be sillier than I had been this trip. I would take fewer things seriously. I would take more chances. I would climb more mountains and I would swim more rivers. I would eat more ice cream and less beans. I would perhaps have more actual troubles, but I'd have fewer imaginary ones. You see, I'm one of those people who live sensibly and sanely, hour after hour, day after day. Oh, I've had my moments, and if I had to do it again, I'd have more of them. In fact, I'd try to have nothing else. Just moments, one after another, instead of living so many years ahead of each day. I've been one of those persons who never goes anywhere without a thermometer, a hot water bottle, a raincoat, and a parachute. If I had to do it again, I'd travel lighter than I have. If I had my life to live over, I would start barefoot earlier in the spring and stay that way later in the fall. I would go to more dances. I would ride more merry-go-rounds. I would pick more daisies. St. Ben's has showed us the joy of living and growing through our pursuit of knowledge. It is our responsibility to our St. Benedict community and to our world to continue this joyful pursuit as we leave this institution. Unlike the situation presented in the poem, we only have one life. I thank God for each one of your lives, and I pray that we all see the joy and happiness in our existence. Live the moment, my friends, and you will be surprised at the places you can go. I wish you God's peace on your joyful pursuit. And please take care. Remember to look both ways before crossing the road. Also, maybe you can take the time to bend down and pick some daisies along the way. Consider your options. Good luck.
Today's program lists 418 candidates for the baccalaureate degree. The College of St. Benedict is happy to recognize these degree candidates. It is understood that the appropriate degrees are those earned by the candidates who successfully complete all requirements for that degree by the end of the scholastic year. Will the candidates please rise? Sister Coleman O'Connell, President of the College of St. Benedict, these students are now presented to you for conferral of the appropriate degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon those candidates whose names appear in the commencement program the appropriate Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees indicated, with all the attendant rights and privileges of which the degrees to be given to them shall be forever the testimony.
I would like to ask the audience to please withhold applause until all candidates have received their degrees. Thank you. Honor graduates, Bachelor of Arts. Jean Catherine Abler, cum laude, Chemistry, White Bear Lake. Megan Mary Adams, cum laude, Psychology, Golden Valley. Kimberly Ann Albrecht, cum laude, Spanish, Marine on St. Croix. Jennifer Lynn Athman, magna cum laude, Biology, Sauk Rapids. Melissa Jean Hours, magna cum laude, Social Science, Pine City. Barbara Catherine Bilgen, magna cum laude, English, Invergrove Heights. Lisa Mary Blockowitz, cum laude, Sociology, Winnetka, Illinois. Joanne Marie Bongartz, Old College Honors, magna cum laude, Distinction in Education, Edina. Lisa Ann Cash, summa cum laude, Family Life Studies, Sauk Rapids. Christine K. Serkvenik, cum laude, Management in Spanish, Minnetonka. Jennifer Ann Coe, summa cum laude, Old College Honors, Distinction in English, Kenosha, Wisconsin. Lisa Marie Cotton, magna cum laude, Art, Avon. Christine Marie Curran, magna cum laude, French and Psychology, Rochester. Nora Louise Davis, cum laude, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Kathleen Mary Deignan, magna cum laude, Elementary Education, Monroe, Wisconsin. Kirsten Marie DeVries, cum laude, Old College Honors, Distinction in English and History, Baxter. Connie Marie Dockendorf, magna cum laude, Sociology, Melrose. Tracy Marie Damish, cum laude, Psychology, Grand Rapids. Danielle Lee Dosh, Social Work, Rapid City, South Dakota. Susan Patricia Engesser, summa cum laude, Mathematics, Blue Earth. Jennifer Lynn Fess, magna cum laude, Old College Honors, Distinction in Mathematics, Rochester. Molly Ann Flanagan, summa cum laude, Liberal Studies, Duluth. Marguerite Doris Flynn, magna cum laude, Psychology, North St. Paul. Anne Young Fredericks, magna cum laude, Spanish, Burnsville. Carla Marie Gengler, egregia cum laude, Old College Honors, Distinction in Biology, Adrian. Heather Lee Glidden, summa cum laude, Management, Minnetonka. Lynn Gustafson, cum laude, Liberal Studies, Cook. Dorothy Elaine Hangman, cum laude, Old College Honors, Distinction in Philosophy, Bowstrings. Carrie Ann Henry, summa cum laude, Mathematics, Burnsville. Amy Jane Hergott, egregia cum laude, Biology, Waseca. Aaron Lee Holman, magna cum laude, Old College Honors, English, Blooming Prairie. Stephanie K. Omgren, cum laude, Psychology and Theology, Glenwood. Michelle Rose Holshoe, magna cum laude, Old College Honors, Distinction in English, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Annette Rose Hewitt, cum laude, Theater in Spanish, Venice Heights. Christine Ann Janke, cum laude, Old College Honors, Distinction in French, French and English, Brooklyn Center. Amy Marie Jaspers, cum laude, Management, Edina. Victoria Kalina, cum laude, Elementary Education, Northfield. Lisa Ann Ka, summa cum laude, English and Philosophy, Mankato. Genia Marie Kolitzko, magna cum laude, Old College Honors, Distinction in French and German, Shoreview. Jennifer Geraldine Koopmeiners, magna cum laude, Elementary Education, St. Cloud. Anne-Marie Kramschuster, summa cum laude, Old College Honors, Distinction in Music, Mora. Stacy K. Crick, cum laude, Elementary Education, Sauk Center. Jill Marie Kruger, cum laude, Biology, Wabasha. Jolynn Therese Kunerth, magna cum laude, elementary education, Fulda. Amy Labatt, magna cum laude, elementary education, Marshall. Jill Margaret Lance, magna cum laude, French, Hopkins. Tammy Marie Lauer, magna cum laude, government and English, Andover. Carolyn Louise Leary, summa cum laude, psychology and Spanish, Le Center. Beth Marie Lenkowski, magna cum laude, mathematics, Invergrove Heights. Jennifer Elizabeth Lindmark, cum laude, sociology, Coon Rapids. Sarah Rose Lindquist, cum laude, government, Excelsior. Sandra Ray Longhorn, summa cum laude, all college honors, distinction in English, Waterloo, Iowa. Kristen Elaine Ludwig, magna cum laude, all college honors, government and communication, Bismarck, North Dakota. Dawn Marie Main, magna cum laude, Spanish, Pine River. Janine May Metling, summa cum laude, music, Pine City. Patricia Ann Oberstar, magna cum laude, English and communication, Brooklyn Center. Shannon K. Pettit, cum laude, all college honors, distinction in management and Spanish, Cedar Rapids. Melissa Jean Prindle, cum laude, social work and sociology, Prior Lake. Susan Elizabeth Ryan, summa cum laude, economics and English, Cold Spring. Erica Joy Schlichting, egregia cum laude, management and art, Rice. Jill Donna Schlick, magna cum laude, all college honors, distinction in history, Warner Robins, Georgia. Dawn Marie Shalatek, summa cum laude, psychology, Tempe, Arizona. Kelly Lynn Schmidt, egregia cum laude, biology, Castleton, North Dakota. Tracy Lee Schult, cum laude, English, Burnsville. Jennifer Tyndall Sell, egregia cum laude, all college honors, distinction in German, Madison, Wisconsin. Patricia Ann Shannon, magna cum laude, mathematics, Hastings. Tina Louise Sherek, cum laude, psychology and management, Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Angela Jean Sontag, cum laude, management, White Bear Lake. Jerry Ann Spanier, magna cum laude, social work, Belgrade. Jennifer Lee Spindler, magna cum laude, English, Coon Rapids. Rebecca Ann Stevens, cum laude, management, Rochester. Whitney Ann Sweeney, summa cum laude, psychology, Brookings, South Dakota. Melissa Leah Thielman, magna cum laude, social work, St. Paul. Stephanie Ann Untaid, egregia cum laude, music, Plymouth. Christina Marie Valentine, magna cum laude, accounting, Blooming Prairie. Wendy Ann Weber, magna cum laude, mathematics, Coon Rapids. Jennifer Lynn Wiedemann, cum laude, biology, Burnsville. Elise Laura Erica Robinson, all college honors, distinction in theater, St. Joseph. Honor graduates, Bachelor of Science. Pamela Jean DeCento, magna cum laude, nursing, St. Cloud. Amy Beth Cohn Gustafson, cum laude, nursing, Maple Lake. Andrea Marie Lazat, cum laude, nursing, Champlin. Joan Margaret Lesh, magna cum laude, nursing, Kimball. Jennifer Kristen Murray, magna cum laude, nursing, La Crosse, Wisconsin. Darla Marie Ollinger, magna cum laude, nursing, St. Cloud. And Christine Pearson, cum laude, nursing, New Hope. Katrina Sue Schmidt, cum laude, nursing, River Falls, Wisconsin. Joan Marie Schwinghammer, summa cum laude, nursing, St. Cloud. Claudia Lorena Swanton, cum laude, nursing, St. Cloud. Randy Jean Valencia, magna cum laude, nursing, Bertram. Karen Marie Witzman, magna cum laude, nursing, St. Cloud. Mary Patricia Zahorsky, magna cum laude, nursing, St. Cloud. Candidates for the Bachelor of Arts: Julie Irish Anderson, Government, Sacramento, California. Dana Lynn Auth, Management, North Oaks. Pamela Michelle Barron, Management, Bertha. Melissa Helen Bechtold, Elementary Education, St. Joseph. Susan Beckman, Liberal Studies, Munster, Indiana. Christine Brennan Belatti, Elementary Education, Watertown, South Dakota. Catherine Diana Bendix, Social Work, Waseca. Marissa Lynn Bergdahl, Social Work, Wadena. Amy Marie Bergman, Biology, Melrose. Christy Marie Bezenek, Psychology, Fergus Falls. Betsy Jo Bailey, Biology, Englewood, Colorado. Joelle Elizabeth Bickelmeyer, History, Shawnee, Kansas. Julie Michelle Bafaro, Liberal Studies, Bloomington. Amy Rosalie Kathleen Blake, Social Work, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Sarah Elizabeth Betcher, English, Stillwater. Catherine Mary Bouchard, Elementary Education, Annandale. Portia Lynn Boyd, Psychology, Stillwater. Maureen Boyle, Social Work, Edina. Chantel Louise Bregelman, Management, Melrose. Shannon Rose Brennan, Elementary Education, St. Joseph. Amy Lynn Brennan, Biology, Albany. Jennifer Broyne, Social Science, Eden Prairie. Susan Marie Brown, Elementary Education, St. Cloud. Jennifer Ann Brummer, Social Work, Lakeville. Carla Jean Bungie, Elementary Education, Appleton. Julie Margaret Beitart, Management, Cloquet. Sarah Jane Carey, Elementary Education, Anchorage, Alaska. Michelle Margaret Carlson, Accounting, Little Canada. Amy Christine Casperson, Social Work, Hastings. Tara Lynn Castle, Liberal Studies, Anoka. Amy Suzanne Catu, Elementary Education, Marshall. Pu Ling Chan, Management and Economics, Kowloon, Hong Kong. Catherine Jo Collar, Liberal Studies, Shakopee. Elizabeth Collins, Government, St. Paul. Jacqueline Marie Collins, Sociology, Osakis. Lisa Ann Cortez, Spanish, St. Paul. Megan Kathleen Coyne, Social Science, Plymouth. Colleen Marie Cronin, History, Bloomington. Kathleen Ann Cruikshank, Dietetics, Maple Lake. Catherine Mary Cunningham, French and Management, Edina. Anne Catherine Curley, Liberal Studies, Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. Karen Ann Dahlheimer, Mathematics, Dayton. Laurie Ann Daly, Art, Caledonia. Molly Jo Daly, Natural Science, Rochester. Tara Louise Darnell, Theater, St. Cloud. Sarah Jean Davis, Biology, Karlstad. Elizabeth Ann Deming, Elementary Education, Shoreview. Deanne Marie Demmeling, Psychology, New Richmond, Wisconsin. Sean Marie Donovan, Liberal Studies, Omaha, Nebraska. Kirsten K. Dorn, Management, Bloomington. Karen Marie Doucette, Psychology, Little Falls. Leslie Ann Drahazel, Biology, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Bridget Erin Duffy, Liberal Studies, Edina. Michelle Christine Marie Depuche, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Mary Jo Ebner, Management, Wadena. Catherine Lynn Egermont, Social Work, Marshall. Diane K. Eliason, Dietetics, Duluth. Kathleen Elizabeth Engel, Theology, St. Cloud. Michelle Lynn Engel, Government, Norfolk, Nebraska. Justine Marie Engelpolk, Social Work, New Hope. Amy Elizabeth Ennis, Accounting, Mendota Heights. Carolee Ann Evenson, Liberal Studies, Arden Hills. Heather Rebecca Funhorst, Psychology, St. Cloud. Molly Beth Farrell, Art, Dallas, Texas. Pamela Ann Fasching, Management and Spanish, Dayton. Rushika Karen February, History, Appleton, Wisconsin. Sheridan Lynn Fleming, Music, Audubon. Angela Marie Faust, Communication, Edina. Britta Ann Frantz, Psychology, Plymouth. Jennifer Marie Frobenius, Music, Frazee. Heidi Marie Frail, Psychology, St. Joseph. Anne Marie Garby, Liberal Studies, Shawnee, Kansas. Kimberly Ann Gardner, Psychology, Fairmont. Jennifer Lee Kastner, Elementary Education, Coon Rapids. Sarah Rose Gerger, Theology, Richmond. Amy Lynn Golden, Elementary Education, Bloomington. Sonda Lee Gominski, Liberal Studies, Monticello. Leslie Ann Grady, Liberal Studies, Omaha, Nebraska. Sandra Grant Roll, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Nicole Green, Management, Morgan. Sarah Ann Green, Chemistry, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Teresa Michelle Greenhow, Art History, Hutchinson. Michelle Windus Greenleaf, Theater, Sioux City, Iowa. Deborah Ann Gugesberg, English, Fairfax. Catherine Ann Gurley, English, Chicago, Illinois. Heidi Jo Adachek, Elementary Education, Faribault. Heidi Moran Hallstrom, Government, St. Cloud. Kate Nicole Helverson, English, St. Louis Park. Jill Marie Henney, Liberal Studies, New Hope. Heidi Karen Hansen, Communication, Waverly. Sarah Ione Hansen, Social Work and French, Apple Valley. Sarah Jane Hansen, Elementary Education, Hastings. Tracy Lynn Hansen, elementary education, Spring Valley. Marcia Jean Hare, elementary education, Grand Rapids. Thank you. Paula Jean Harris, German, Fridley. Lisa Jo Harrison, social work, Stillwater. Meredith Ann Hazelton, management, Winona. Stacy Jane Heller, communication, Eden Prairie. Heidi Christine Henderson, art, Painesville. Heather Lynn Heron, English, Wade Park. Jacqueline Marie Hess, communication, St. Cloud. Kelly Ann Hetherington, liberal studies, Urbandale, Iowa. Gail Marie Hessian, social work, Cold Spring. Heidi Elizabeth Hessian, management, Burnsville. Lisa Michelle Horst, art history, Santa Maria, California. Emily Rain Howard, English, Mound. Susan Elizabeth Emdeck, sociology, Hastings. Brandy Ray Johnson, history, Blaine. Molly Ann Johnson, management, Sioux City, Iowa. Lisa Marie Jones, management, Northfield. Julie Ann Kedlick, elementary education, Faribault. Maria Michelle Kalar, elementary education, International Falls. Karen Ann Kempa, elementary education, St. Cloud. Anne Louise Capon, government and English, Detroit Lakes. Bridget Lynn Keenan, art, Kirkhoven. Elizabeth Ann Keenan, elementary education, Kirkhoven. Mara Joan Keller, social work, St. Joseph. Karen Lynn Kenyon, psychology, Benson. Cara Faye Gelberg, liberal studies, Buffalo. Megan Dorio Clefman, psychology, Minnetonka. Jennifer Ann Klein, elementary education, St. Cloud. Deborah Diane Klein, liberal studies, New Brighton. Kimberly Marie Knish, biology, Le Center. Jill Susan Knopik, management, Swanville. Michelle Christina Kohler, English and communication, Burnsville. Kathleen Ann Corey, liberal studies, St. Paul. Marcy Krakenbring, liberal studies, Atwater. Christina Marie Kraus, psychology, Ramsey. Elizabeth Ann Crick, mathematics, St. Paul. Michelle Lynn Elizabeth Kruger, French, Garvin. Catherine Lee Kuczynski, English, Lincolnwood, Illinois. Jessica Lee Ladd, elementary education, Palisade. Audrey Louise Lamore, music, Verina, Iowa. Kimberly Marie Landrigan, social work, St. Cloud. Jennifer Jane Larson, biology, South Haven. Sarah Ann Larson, psychology, Northfield. Jennifer Lynn Legrand, English, St. Cloud. Sheila Ann Leither, government and history, Litchfield. Laurie Lynn Lemke, economics, Montrose. Pamela K. Lenartz, elementary education, Tracy. Tracy Lynn Leonard, Biology, Wausau, Wisconsin. Mary Teresa Elizabeth Lewandowski, History, St. Cloud. Sandra Ann Leon, Accounting, Brooklyn Park. Kimberly Marie Linden, Management, Atwater. Lori Ann Lynn, Elementary Education, Woodbury. Susan Michelle Locke, Sociology, Coon Rapids. Gail Long, Social Science, Zimmerman. Kami Lynn Longstreet, Government, North Mankato. Renee Louise Lavold, Management, Silver Bay. Jennifer Marie Lowe, Social Work, Seattle, Washington. Kim Allison Luzier, Psychology, Sartell. Kelly Jean Malum, Art, Sacred Heart. Susan Sun Young Marchek, English, Chaska. Angela Jean Marek, Sociology, St. Cloud. Michelle Jo Marketon, Music, Howard Lake. Camille Marie Marthaler, Psychology, Osakis. Joe Catherine Mayer, Sociology, Cumberland, Wisconsin. Kimberly Lynn McCabe, Liberal Studies, Cleveland. Carol Ann McDermott, Government, New Hope. Tanya Ann McNamara, Sociology, Invergrove Heights. Janelle Jean Melgeorge, Dietetics, Eveleth. Lee Ann Manier, Biology, Brooklyn Park. Peggy Rose Mernon, Communication, Fridley. Catherine Jean Merriam, Government, Coon Rapids. Susan Marie Michael, Biology, Freeport. Kimberly Therese Milkey, Liberal Studies, Jordan. Gretchen Elizabeth Mitchell, Management, River Falls, Wisconsin. Tracy Lynn Moline, Communication, St. Cloud. Wendy Moline, Psychology, Benson. Sherry Lee Morey, Spanish and Management, Motley. Michelle Sue Morin, Government and French, Omaha, Nebraska. Sarah Lynn Morrison, Social Work, Minneapolis. Michelle Lee Mott, Accounting, Onamia. Lynn Ann Mugley, Liberal Studies, Cold Spring. Colleen Carol Murphy, Government, St. Paul. Jennifer Ann Myers, Communication, Wayzata. Jessica Jane Nagel, Mathematics, Rosemont. Kristen Lee Nagel, Elementary Education, Bloomington. Colleen Margaret Neary, English, Rosemont. Kristen Ann Nickel, Government, Collierville, Tennessee. Lynn Ellen Nielsen, Psychology, Farmington. Julie Ann Nolan, Psychology, Des Moines, Iowa. Trinette Marie Nordstrom, Elementary Education, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Jennifer Marie Nordsted, Elementary Education, New London. Tracy Elizabeth Norton, Theater, Excelsior. Jackie Notch, Liberal Studies, Avon. Lynette Ann Olson, Psychology, Monticello. Gina Marie O'Rourke, English, Rochester. Eileen Catherine O'Toole, English, Shakopee. Nico Lynn Otto, Psychology, Bloomington. Shireen Bianca Outen, Economics, Nassau, Bahamas. Susan Marie Pedersen, English, Bloomington. Ann Lisa Peltier, Elementary Education, St. Paul. Linda K. Perry, Elementary Education, Alexandria. Amy Marie Peters, Management, Robbinsdale. Colette Marie Peters, Psychology, Millbank, South Dakota. Gail Ann Peters, Accounting, Robbinsdale. Michelle Noreen Peterson, Mathematics, Swanville. Renee Carol Peterson, Dietetics, St. Cloud. Michelle Ann Petrus, Elementary Education, Anoka. Larissa Pettit, French, St. Joseph. Gloria Angela Pichet, Liberal Studies, Mount. Samantha Ann Poxon, Sociology, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Leslie Lynn Prishman, English, Fergus Falls. Angela Jean Prisavilla, Music, Piers. Amy Nicole Radu, Elementary Education, Golden Valley. Jennifer Ann Rawhauser, Sociology, Hot Springs, South Dakota. Rebecca Nan Reichert, Communication, Bismarck, North Dakota. Erin Jean Reardon, Government and Spanish, Minnetonka. Jeannie Marie Reisacker, Sociology, Hadley. Adelita Roberta Rivera, Communication, Shakopee. Ramona Josephine Rivera, Communication, Shakopee. Elizabeth Susan Ronley, Management, Burnsville. Kathleen Marie Ryan, Liberal Studies, Aiken. Tracy Lee Ryan, Dietetics, St. Paul. Mary Michelle Sadhoff, Elementary Education, Brainerd. Melissa Ruth Sadowski, Music, Dickinson, North Dakota. Heather Mara Sahlstrom, Liberal Studies, Eden Prairie. Cynthia Hilma Sandlin, Liberal Studies, St. Cloud. Nicole Joy Sarantakis, Social Work, Coon Rapids. Carrie Ann Say, Management, North Mankato. Kimberly Sue Scheid, Liberal Studies, Adrian. Tanya Lynn Schemmel, Communication, Danube. Tracy Lynn Schlickenmeyer, English and Communication, Wyoming. Rebecca Schmitz, English, Crestwood, Kentucky. Teresa Marie Shons, Natural Science, Fairmont. Darla Ray Shu, Chemistry, Wanda. Heidi Ann Schott, Social Work, Des Moines, Iowa. Christine Renee Schulte, Management, Inver Grove Heights. Tamara Jane Schulte, Sociology, Redwood Falls. Tracy Ann Schumacher, Liberal Studies, Litchfield. Mary Elizabeth Schwamberger, Liberal Studies, Lake Crystal. Stacy Ann Schwinghammer, Social Work, Monsview. Margaret Mary Sheehan, Social Work, Alexandria. Karen Jean Sheely, Elementary Education, Andover. Molly Keenan Seavey, Art, Edina. Ruth Anna Sitzman, Communication, Omaha, Nebraska. Tamara Lynn Skillings, Liberal Studies, Blaine. Stephanie Sue Skirbich, English, Mounds View. Jill Melissa Slade, Elementary Education, Edina. Jodelle Jane Slade, English, Edina. Kathleen Marie Smith, Communication, Deerfield, Massachusetts. Melissa Evelyn Soraya, Psychology, Billings, Montana. Julie Lee Spoden, Management, Grand Rapids. Erin Marie Stahl, English, Watertown, South Dakota. Amy Elizabeth Stanley, Sociology, Maple Grove. Elizabeth Ann Stadelman, Theater, Clear Lake, Iowa. Andrea Mary Steele, Management, Becker. Regina May Stender, Social Work, Le Sueur. Michelle Lee Stevens, Art, Stillwater. Cynthia Dawn Straub, Liberal Studies, Eden Prairie. Theodora Marie Stewart, Management, Nassau, Bahamas. Jane McDonald Sullivan, Psychology and Music, Chicago, Illinois. Peggy Ann Sutton, Communication, Plymouth. Karen Ann Schwiel, Elementary Education, Cold Spring. Marnie Marie Swing, Biology, Grand Rapids. Melissa Marie Temple, Dietetics, Morgan. Andrea Rose Thomas, Elementary Education, Loretto. Amy Elizabeth Tiongson, Psychology, Grand Forks, North Dakota. Brenda Renee Tremmel, Government, Clements. Cynthia Marie Tupi Jansen, Liberal Studies, Owatonna. Sarah Ann Tuvey, Elementary Education, Janesville. Nancy Lynn Verley, Management, Ghent. Carol Ann Vivi, Social Science, Zimmerman. Stephanie Ann Vink, Dietetics, Maplewood. Virginia Ann Vink, Management, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Elisa Mary Volkman, Studio Art, St. Anthony. Jill Walenta, Elementary Education, Burnsville. Jennifer Elaine Weber, English, Painesville. Karen Marie Weber, Natural Science, Prior Lake. Beth Ann Wakescheid, Psychology, Wadena. Alicia Wells, Communication, Alexandria. Glennis Laurie Werner, Social Work, Cannon Falls. Lisa Mae Westgard, Biology, Duluth. Lori Lee Westman, Sociology, Rochester. Cynthia Mae Wieland, Liberal Studies, New Hope. Laura Ann Wieland, Social Work, St. Cloud. Beth Ann Williams, Elementary Education, Browerville. Deborah Jean Williams, English, Burnsville. Michelle Lee Williams, Elementary Education, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Brenda K. Winger, Liberal Studies, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Elizabeth Catherine Whitrock, Management, St. Joseph. Adrian Wolf, Communication, Burnsville. Si-Wing Selena Wong, Accounting and Management, North Point, Hong Kong. Nancy Barbara Wirtz, Management, Melrose. Lisa Ann Worm, Management and Accounting, Anoka. Amy Elizabeth Yak, Music and English, St. Paul. Susan Elizabeth Yorkovich, Management, Maplewood. Jennifer Margaret Zip, Accounting, St. Cloud. Sarah Marie Zernhelt, Social Work, Egan. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science: Jane Suzanne Roos, Nursing, Danvers. Kathleen Claire Bowler, Nursing, Aurora, Illinois. Beth Ann Berlinger, Nursing, Chicago. Karen Ann Borash, Nursing, Staples. Anne Marie Cypress, Nursing, Roseville. Robin Ray Connor, Nursing, Alexandria. Lillian Catherine Cronin, Nursing, Kimball. Candace Ann Cusick, Nursing, Wenchie, Washington. Deanne Marie Fennell, Nursing, Hutchinson. Karen Marie Greenberg, Nursing, Appleton, Wisconsin. Kirsten Renee Gustafson, Nursing, Stewartville. Sherry Hennick, Nursing, St. Cloud. Deborah Ann Hipsag, Nursing, Elk River. Jennifer Lynn Jacobson, Nursing, Monticello. Leah Mae Johnson, Nursing, Hector. Renee Marie Ketterhagen, Nursing, Long Prairie. Julie Marie Knapp, Nursing, Alexandria, Virginia. Colleen Sharon Kraft, Nursing, St. Joseph. Jameen Ann Cratoville, Nursing, New Prague. Anne Catherine Croning, Nursing, Minneapolis. Karen Kathleen Laram, Nursing, St. Cloud. Lynette Rose Liebard, Nursing, Belle Plaine. Jody Christine Lillimon, Nursing, Asante. Frances Jean Magnuson, Nursing, Stillwater. Indira Zenora Malcolm, Nursing, Freeport, Bahamas. Diane Overby, Nursing, Sartell. Pamela Jean Parent, Nursing, Shoreview. Nancy Lynn Pesta, Nursing, Long Prairie. Molly Maureen Quinlivan, Nursing, St. Cloud. Carol Marie Rentz, Nursing, St. Cloud. Anne Catherine Sandy, Nursing, New Brighton. Barbara Ann Scheiber, Nursing, South Haven. Sister Rita Marie Skillingstad, Nursing, Little Falls. Lori Lynn Stock, Nursing, St. Joseph. Jacqueline Ann Tashney, Nursing, Litchfield. Heidi Ann Wagner, Nursing, Hastings. Christy K. Walters, Nursing, Sauk Rapids. Anne Louise Wendinger, Nursing, Fairfax.
I want to be the first to welcome all of you into the distinguished alumni of the College of St. Benedict.
I would now like to invite Vice President Barbara Carlson to welcome you officially to the Alumni Association.
On behalf of the Alumni Association, which includes Sister Coleman, I congratulate you, the graduates of the class of 1993, and I welcome you as alumni of the college. Garrison Keillor once described a Minnesota goodbye as interminable. He said it begins in the kitchen, and then you continue to the front door, and then you walk out to the driveway, and it finally ends beside the car. This week has been like Keillor's Minnesota goodbye for you. You've had the last Mass, you had the senior dinner, the Eucharist this morning, you've had the speeches by Janet and Sue and Katie and others, and now you have one more. This is the 7th year that I have had the pleasure of saying the last official goodbye to a graduating class. And it is the moment when the faculty and staff on the stage start to squirm a bit, because they know that I would feel like something of a fraud without admitting to you that this goodbye is almost the same one that I wrote 7 years ago. That year, 1987, my daughter Christine was a sophomore at St. Ben's. And as I was invited to do this and contemplated what I wanted to say, Christine and her experiences filled my mind and heart. I have thought about writing different words in sympathy for the faculty and staff who have heard this so often, and certainly in an effort to recognize that each class is unique. But as I have pondered that, I simply haven't been able to come up with anything else to say, because this is exactly what I want to say. And so today, these words, though oft repeated, are not for Christine. These words today are for you and for your family. I'd like to invite you to think back 4 years, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, when you began your St. Ben's experience. If you were a traditional student, you left your home to come to St. Ben's, and with you came your clothes, your word processor and dictionary, your checkbook, your makeup, your posters, your high school yearbook, your CD player, your pictures of family and friends, and 3 12-packs of Diet Coke. And then you moved it all in, load by load. And you started to nest, to create a home for yourself. You hung up your clothes in the closet. You arranged your pens and paper and stationery in the desk drawers. You made up your bed with crisp new sheets, and you hung the posters on the wall with tacks or nails, but no tape. You were surrounding yourself with the familiar things in your life and arranging your new possessions. A statement about the transitional journey you were beginning, the journey from dependence to autonomy. All of that was tentative at first, and it felt pretty scary. It was a tentative home. Now, some of you have had a much different experience. Your St. Ben's days began years ago, but in a different place with a different climate. And you've joined us much more recently. It may be your first trip to a sub-zero climate, and you probably went through those winter coats that I understand the Bahamian students share. In any case, as the first days passed for the traditional student with floor meetings and first classes and buying books and settling in with your roommate and meeting your brother Floor and designing the loft you were going to ask your dad to build, each person's journey was different. Some of you were homesick. You thought your roommate was a little strange. And you wondered why you'd ever left Inver Grove Heights, or Rochester, or Cedar Rapids. Some of you were just delighted to be here and rejoicing in your independence with only an occasional pang of missing the familiar. At home, your family's journeys were also different. Some of them keenly felt the empty nest you left behind. Others sensed it was time for this experience, and perhaps their pain was less intense. Sisters and brothers had thought you would never leave. They took pieces of your furniture. Some even moved into your bedrooms. But now they were a little worried that you would never come back. As the nest here became more familiar, as your life became more filled with friends and experiences, a subtle but strong shift occurred in the use of the word home. You left home to come to St. Ben's, and you'd leave St. Ben's to go home. And at some point, you started to leave your homes to come home to St. Ben's. And I imagine many parents today can remember the pang of hearing you say for the first time, as you departed for St. Joseph, "I'm going home." Where home was has shifted many times over the year. From Mankato to Aurora 3, from Pine City to Ricarda, from Nassau to the East Apartments, from Wisconsin Rapids to a cottage in Ireland, or maybe simply from your home in St. Cloud to the HAB or Clemens Library. There's been a shift in the use of the word home, and there's been a shift in the place of home. Change, and yet no change at all. Burnsville or Hutchinson or Santa Maria, California will always be home, just as St. Ben's will. Finding a home is the process of finding yourself, and as you become autonomous, it becomes centered in you. You carry it with you now, just as you carry your clothes and your pictures and your favorite things. And now you'll look for another home. I wish you the last official goodbye, and I wish you Godspeed. And I invite you to come home to St. Ben's, to see friends, maybe to play an alumni basketball game, to refresh learning, to see if the fish are in the fish pond yet, to renew commitment, or as Patricia said, to just sit and look. Come home whenever you can.
For our closing blessing, I invite us all to stand. Loving God, we thank you for the blessings you have given us and the world through these women who are graduating from the College of St. Benedict today. Blessings particularly through their commitment to develop the gifts you have given them, through their service to each other and people of many parts of the world community. As we thank you, we ask your blessings on these women, that they may be blessed with wonder and appreciation for what you have done in and through them during the college phase of their life journey. May they be blessed with a commitment to the values of the Benedictine tradition in which they have been immersed, and hence have been challenged to act in ways that are creative of a culture that expresses the values of Christ. May they be blessed with courage to claim places of contemplation and times of silence, to sit and stare and see what is not there, and yet what is so much there, where they can discover their own song, search out their own story, so they can reflect their wisdom to all they meet. May these women be blessed with a vision of all creation that is aligned with yours and with the energy in the Spirit to help creation at times burst forth, at times unfold gently into the full wonder to which you call it. May these graduates be blessed with the realization that they are loved unconditionally by you and that you are walking with them into the hopes and challenges of the future. Bless all of us with the blessings we need for our personal journey and that of the world. We ask for these blessings, grateful for this special time in which we are all brought together in Christian community, and trusting in the empowering love of Jesus Christ in the Spirit. Amen.